Hello and welcome to Cricut. My name is Cody, and in today's video we're doing something a little different. I went and purchased a Cricut maker. I know I've never done anything with Cricut and it's completely unrelated to my channel. Not quite, I'll tell you why a little bit later. But I decided to go for the biggest one with all the ideas that I have in my mind. I figured it would make the most sense and eventually I'd get used to it. But I have a Cricut maker. I got the rose gold one on sale on Amazon. I believe it was $329.99, so it was $40 off of what it usually is. Still, it is a big ticket item, so I get that it's a big ticket item and I'm going all in with it, and I wanted to do a video where I talk about it. So I already did the unboxing part of this video, but my phone died in the middle of my unboxing filming, and for some reason that decided to corrupt the entire file, so I can't show you the actual unwrapping and all that stuff anyway. Anybody familiar with my other channel knows that I hate unwrapping on camera. It just feels like people are staring at you at Christmas and it's just kind of awkward. I don't know, I have a little bit of an anxiety about that. I know, strange, but I wanted to show everything that came with it and also my first couple projects. So I'm really excited. I bought this for a lot of different reasons. I wanted to see if, first and foremost, if I could make those cute little leather tags that you see on hats, and I also wanted to do vinyl cutouts and make signs and stuff. And then as soon as I get the Cricut maker and I'm thinking of all the things that I can do, I had a brainstorm and it's completely Cricut related. So I'm so excited and I just can't get over the fact that I thought of this. I posted it in the Discord as well, so people have been talking to me about all the stuff that they do over there, but I can make anime eyes with felt because this Cricut maker, it cuts fabric, it cuts leather, it even cuts wood. Like, that's absolutely mind-blowing to me that it can cut like balsa wood. That's absolutely insane. I know you need a specific blade for it, but that's neither here nor there. I'm gonna try to make actual like anime eyes for like the Pokemon that I've made in the past and do cutesy things. I see a lot of closed eyes and I use felt for everything, but my biggest issue with felt is that I can never make it symmetrical, so this is a game changer. All right. So I have a couple projects that I want to work on, and I have a couple things that came with the Cricut. Obviously, the machine itself, which had a blade already inside of it. And then it also came with this other blade. This is a Cricut rotary blade cap. So I imagine this is the rotary blade. And it already came with a fine point blade, I want to say. It's already in the machine. And you'll see that in just a second. But it also came with this little kit that said start here, basically. And I did. I actually went on and I did the whole making a Cricut account and connecting my Bluetooth to the machine itself. So it's all hooked up. It's all plugged in. It came with the power cord and everything like that. It's already all plugged in. But I've yet to do my first cut, so I am pretty excited about that. It actually gives you materials for your first project, which I think is kind of cool for a first project thing if you don't want to ruin your vinyl, but I'm just going to jump all in, and I have a couple projects that I want to work on. So it also came with a little Cricut booklet talking about all the projects that you can do. There's literally thousands upon thousands of things you can do through both the phone Cricut app as well as through the Cricut Maker Design Maker or whatever on the computer, which I have both of them on there. I think I like the phone one a bit more, but we're going to play with the computer one because I film with my phone. So it also came with two Cricut grip boards. So this one is for fabric, I want to say. This one's the fabric one, which I'm going to be using with felt and things like that to cut eyes. And then this one is the light grip. I've been told already by a girlfriend who has been doing cricketing for a lot longer than I've been doing really any kind of crafting. So she says that these are actually washable, which is good because I already have cat hair on it. But it's really sticky. Like, that's what gets things to stay on it. I'm keeping the plastic on it to try to minimize as much as I can. I have two little kitty cats and they've already got to it. It's already there. But you can hear it. It sticks right to the thing. But supposedly she uses baby wipes, and some other people have actually just straight up used dish soap and you can reuse them. So I'm actually pretty hopeful about that. I imagine I'm probably going to need some baby wipes for this already. And it came with the two blades and I believe a pen. Where'd the pen go? No, there's the pen. A little pen. I don't know what I'm going to use the pen for, but it came with that. So what I'm going to do for my project today is I'm going to actually move all these over here. That's all it came with, really. It wasn't a crazy amount, but I have 3 projects in mind, and 2 of them are actually pretty similar. I actually went and purchased some vinyl for these projects so that I can work with it. I also purchased some shelf liner, and supposedly you can use this as transfer tape. I don't know. That's what my girlfriend swears by. I actually messaged her and said, hey, do you know if shelf liner works? She's like, oh, I've been using it for years. I'm like, oh, well, that's good. And then I also bought some removable vinyl and then also some permanent vinyl. So the permanent vinyl is probably going to go on the projects that I'm working on today, but I wanted to get removable vinyl because I want to do that cute thing that you can see all over Pinterest where people are making vinyl like in cursive letters of all the things that are in their fridge, the stuff that's regularly in places, and they organize the refrigerator that way. I'll post a little picture here. It's super cute, and I'm going to do that with the removables. That's the way I live in a rental currently, so it'll make it so that it is not permanent. Obviously, it's removable. So another thing that I would like to do is I went to Hobby Lobby and I purchased this wood sign. Originally it was $4.99, but I used a 40% off coupon on it, which brought it down to $2.99. I want to say that's what it brought it down plus tax or whatever. And what I want to do is I'm going to post my partner and I's last name is Badger, so we call ourselves the Badger Den, and I think that's super cute. So we're gonna do the Badger Den, EST 2011, because that's how long we've been together. I know it's been like a decade, so I am really excited about that. We're gonna use the permanent vinyl on this, and it'll be super cute with that wording on it. I've already measured it out, and I'm hoping that this works, and I'm hoping that I can figure out the transferring tape. So then also I found this jar. It's so cute. There was only one of it, and that's fine because I only need one, at the Dollar Tree, and I recently purchased some diatomaceous earth. I know that sounds ridiculous. It's food grade, and supposedly it's good for like deworming your cats and stuff, and just generally like keeping your animals a little bit healthy. A lot of people use it for a lot of different things. Vets approved, everything that I've done research on. Anyway, it comes in this giant 10 or 20 pound bag. It's a 10 pound bag. It was $20. So what I want to do is put a little bit in it at a time for just a little jar, and I'm going to put diatomaceous earth on the front, so that's why it's going to be a little funky and weird. And I also ended up getting these jars. Originally, they were Jelly Belly jelly bean jars, and they had Jelly Belly like all over it, but I decided to de-sticker them and use Gooby Gone and all that stuff to make them look fancy because I really liked the clasp jars, and we use a lot of nuts in our household. We are a keto household, and I like to keep things organized. As you can tell, I'm a little, bit of a perfectionist when it comes to that, and I have my label maker for the pecans and for the walnuts, but I really want to have that fancy cursive lettering for the vinyl, so I'm going to be putting that on these, and we'll see how that goes. All right, I think that's pretty much it. Let's go ahead and pop over to other me in the future who's actually doing all of this. All right, so I have a couple things that I want to talk about when it comes to creating my files. Over here, I am on the Cricut design space, and I'm currently working on a MacBook from 2010. So this is a really old MacBook, and it still hasn't gone out, but I definitely need a new computer at some point soon. Basically, what I wound up doing is I had to do a couple things to make this work exactly the way that I wanted. The particular sign that I'm working with, I wanted to have a fairly wide image. The vinyl that I have is only 12 wide, and that's as far as I can get it, so I ended up making this as wide as I could, so I put it to the 11.5 mark to make this nice and large. But if you hadn't noticed, this looks a little bit different than these words over here. I am using the font Happy Camper, which I ended up downloading that from dafont.com, and from there it is easy to use the text feature when you're using just individual words over here. So you have just this or just that, but you'll notice that if you hit text right here and it opens it up, and I put in the Badger Den, I'm putting spaces in my words, but they're not showing up along the wordage here. So what I wound up doing in order to get the spaces there is I'm going to delete that. I ended up making an image, basically. So the way that I did that is I had to go over to GIMP, which is a freeware Photoshop, essentially. It is a place that you can edit all your images and stuff. And I wanted to make a PNG because a .png is what makes it so that there is a nice clear background, which is what you want. You want it to be transparent. And I ended up just making the wording exactly how I wanted it. I made the file like that. I have Happy Camper on my computer, so that's how that happened. And then I exported it into, again, a PNG, and then I went over to upload over here, and from upload I took it, and then you can insert it after you've done a couple things there. So I'm just going to stay where I am. I'm going to hit cancel and then go back to where I was. This is nice and how I want it. I also wanted it to have things as close as possible, so that I'm going to minimize how much I waste. So I don't want to have so much waste, but I also want them to be far enough apart that they are even. And I want these to be even as well, because I'm going to actually be taking this and probably doing something like that with it. So I just want them to be evenly spaced out so the transfer tape isn't going to get messed up either. And that's essentially what I'm going to do. I'm going to go put some vinyl onto, I'm going to cut the vinyl about 5 inches, maybe 6 just to be safe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, probably 5.5. And I'm going to go put it on the blue board where it's sticky, and then I'm going to go insert it, and I'll show all that, and then I'm going to hit make it, and that will send it right over to the Bluetooth. Alright, so I'm using the permanent vinyl, and I purchased this from Hobby Lobby. It is originally $7.99. I did not pay that. It was 50% off this week, and I ended up paying $4 for that. This is permanent, and it was 4 feet worth by 12 inches basically. The removable one is actually less expensive. So that one's 72, it's the same price, but it's 72 inches worth of permanent vinyl basically. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut this so that I have about 5.5 inches worth of it right here. And I actually will probably be purchasing this from another website in the future. One of my girlfriends told me that there's a website called 143vinyl.com. I'll link it down below, where you can actually get 6 feet worth of permanent vinyl for $2.85. And you can get all kinds of different colors and different iron-ons and all that stuff. So I'm probably gonna go and do a big order over there and see what they're like, because she actually says that she really likes the quality of their vinyl and it works really well. So I'm gonna cut this real quick, and then we're gonna actually get over to the Cricut. Alright, and here she is. I put the vinyl already in. I pressed the on button, and then I pressed this little forward button, which kind of draws it inside. I have about 5.5 inches of vinyl, 5.5 by 12. I already put it on the sticky board. We're on. Our Bluetooth is connected. We have it all the way over here onto my computer, and we've connected our Bluetooth over here. And I'm now going to hit make it, and I'm hoping that this works. Project incompatible. What? It is yelling at me to press the Cricut button. Oh, that's exciting. Oh, it's doing it. So I have now learned my lesson. We're going to do one project at a time because this is way too separate and I don't like them all together like this, and it's hard to tell and cut them apart. So I'm going to be redoing this. Alrighty. Alright, so it's going to take me probably a little bit to actually use tweezers. I need to get some actual specifically made for this tools. But so far, this is what I have. I'm probably going to take the shelf liner and I'm going to apply it on here, and then I'm going to Mod Podge it so that it looks super cute. I'm going to space it how I want. I'm probably going to take these and cut them and do that. I'm probably going to come back as soon as a bunch of these projects are done. I am also going to make some felt eyes. I'm really excited about that as well. So I'll come back as soon as a bunch of those projects are done, and I'll put links and everything down below. So I'm learning this pretty quickly, but I don't swear on my channel. I might with Cricut stuff because, oh my god, this is a son of a gun. Jeez. Getting all these little tiny... No! It went back! Okay, so I'm gonna try to get all this on and transfer it over. The printing is the easy part. It's the application that is difficult. All right, so there is a little bit of a learning curve when it comes to applying these. That big sheet that I did earlier, I ended up having to scrap like half of it. I knew that that was probably going to happen, but this one I had to scrap because the font was way too big for the size of the lid that I wanted, so I ended up redoing it after trying to apply it initially. I figured I would try to apply it and see if there was a learning curve and actually putting it onto the transfer tape, and there is. You really have to do a lot of scraping to actually get things to adhere how you want them to. So I ended up using this spatula. It's got a firm edge here, so I'm probably just gonna ask my husband to break this little handle off, and I'm gonna use this instead of going and spending $15 on Amazon for a scraper. This seemed to work really well, so I'm going to use that. And I actually really like how these turned out. I might eventually undo these and put white vinyl instead of the black so that it will pop more. But generally, I'm pretty happy with how this looks and the font. It's centered really well. And even though I had to do a couple of tries, there's a giant pile of vinyl to my right that makes me sad. But generally, I'm really happy with this. And next up is the diatomaceous earth jar, basically. All right, now that these two are done, we are now going on to the big sign. I actually am pretty happy with how this turned out. It's slightly crooked, but that's on me. And my goodness, getting all those little letters to come off the transfer paper for diatomaceous, that was a pain in the butt. All right, so here's the fruit of my labor, and it feels like hours and hours and hours later because I've just been having to redo this a couple of times. And I really love how this turned out. It's really pretty. I might Mod Podge on top, but generally I think I'm pretty happy with how it looks. And I really like how these look, but these might eventually turn to white. And then I really like the diatomaceous earth. It's just a little container that I'm gonna have on the side. I really like all of these, and if you're interested in more Cricut related stuff, let me know down below. What would you do with a Cricut if you had a Cricut? I have links down in the description for a ton of stuff for really cheaper versions of a lot of the stuff that you can get for the Cricut. That's not necessarily Cricut brand, but will work with Cricut. Like, you can get blades on Amazon for way cheaper than what the actual Cricut is. I have links for all of that for 143 vinyl, which has really inexpensive rolls of vinyl. I believe the one that I was looking on there was for a matte black. For a 12 by 5 foot tube, it's $2.85, and I think it's free shipping after $50. So it's kind of crazy deals over there, and they have some really pretty colors. So let me know what you guys think. I'm also going to be doing some anime eyes. I'm going to be playing around with that a lot more before I go into it, though. I want to get used to the vinyl and how everything cuts. But let me know what you guys think and what you would like to see done with the Cricut. I am pretty excited. So let me know what you guys think. And pretty much until next time, guys, I'm so pumped about my new Cricut. Bye! So it's totally upside down, but I totally also made a little vinyl of a cat to put on the back of my computer to match this cat, who is currently being a little ham.